Hello, my lovely people. I wanted to talk to you about creating your own reality today. Maybe I'm not sounding very convincing. For some reason, I have a little bit of a block, and I think that's the block is about imposter syndrome, or just thinking about where I am in my life and do I really create my reality. But I was really inspired by different podcasts. And also yesterday on my walk, I had so many thoughts about this. I wish I noted them down, but I try to remember and put them out. So if you are in a place that you think is not the best place to be with whatever your private life, your work life, anything. And this is the place where you would think, I am not creating this. These are external circumstances that I have no control over, and things that are happening to me. I would really encourage you to think deeply and to try and see where you are in yourself. Not where you would like to be, but where you are. Meaning, excuse me, how are you really feeling? To do that, I would encourage you to, for me, what works, what I'm always saying is going on walks, because I can be with myself and when I'm in silence, so I can listen to my thoughts, but it's not as intense sort of as sometimes sitting in a meditation. Very lately, meditation became quite intense for me. The speed of the thoughts and the disengaging from those thoughts, it's a little bit more challenging to overcome. And also things that happening in my body. So I feel very intense kind of waves of heat, for example, coming in, and I'm not sure why. So what I'm trying to say that when I walk, it's easier for me to think about where I am, why I am where I am. So the thought that I recently had is that I haven't got a significant other in my life. And when I went deeper into that, I was thinking about how I feel, what's happening with my body, and came into conclusion really that at this very moment, I just feel very comfortable, and I am still looking to find a safe place or safeness within myself. So I wouldn't be 100% perhaps available or perhaps ready. So even though I am sending the energy of finding someone out there, and also another factor to this is what Aaron Doughty say, and many more people, he obviously didn't think of this himself, but what he's explaining is what you chase will run away from you. So you don't need to run after something or crave it so much that actually you are not attracting this, but you are making it run away, sort of. So when you are in need, the universe recognizes that you are in need, recognize this emptiness, and it comes back to you with emptiness, with crave, with even more crave. So what to do in this situation is try and feel yourself as much as you can with self-love, with self-belief, with self-soothing, so much that the universe recognizes that the energy that you then receive is exactly what you have inside. So what I recognize is that, and also who I attract. So people or men that I attract are, in this situation, we are talking just solely about attracting and creating my reality with having a partner, a boyfriend, whatever you want to call it. So the boys or men I attract are very funnily are exactly what I am. So they are not 100% sure. They are maybe preoccupied with something else. They are not 100% available. They are a little bit neither here nor there. They are unsure exactly what I'm saying. So when I was looking, and there was a few kind of men like this that kind of were interested but not really, and then or maybe even had a partner. So that's just something that I was thinking about, and really recognizing this within myself also, that the energy and the reality I am in is very similar to what I am attracting. And so what I'm trying to do now, it's really, first of all, make sure that I feel very safe where I am. And to do that, I am doing physical things like making my space, making my flat really friendly, surrounding myself by plants and really lovely objects. It doesn't have to be like much, but it could be a crystal, it could be something, I don't know, a cup or something like that you really love. So these objects, and this is just by the way, is because my Taurus placement is in moon. So sorry, my moon is in Taurus rather than Taurus in moon. My moon is in Taurus. In astrology, Taurus means has to do with physical objects, with properties. So I do love properties, and I do love being surrounded by beautiful art and beautiful objects. And this is what makes me feel safe. This is what makes me feel calm. So this is a physical thing that I'm doing. Another one is my pets or my friends. And whenever I can, I would just draw this love and enjoy this love from them. And for me also, again, it's very kind of touchy-feely. So I like hugs and I like kisses. So I make sure I receive this as much as possible from my friends and from my pets. I love to cuddle my cats, for example. So always do that. So these are the things that fill me in. And also, obviously, another thing is nature. Walking in nature, enjoying the changing seasons, the mist, the sun. The sun energy is pure love. When you put your face out to the sun, it's going to fill you with pure love. So I am diversing a little bit from the creating your reality. But what I'm trying to say is, by creating your reality, I mean feeling inside the feelings or the experiences you want to experience outside of you. So it's creating it within yourself, and this way sending this energy out and seeing and recognizing it outside. One of the other things that I am kind of creating is self-belief and confidence. And definitely, and my friend mentioned it yesterday, which made me so happy. She said that I do sound more confident. She sensed that that my self-worth and self-belief really increased. And I've been really working on it. I really don't like this word, working on it, because it's not work. It's just what it is. It's just what I am about. So then it's not work. It does require effort, but it's a different effort than your work. It's just who you are. So for me, it's the same as when you're walking and you're walking up the hill. It's just a part of the walk. It's just who you are in this walk. So she did mention that there I sound more confident, and I can see that my confidence outside of me, how people react to me. More people smile at me. The people in the shops are, for example, these are little things, but the people in the shops are more open and they're more eager to help. For some reason, I really noticed that they are really helpful. And not only that, at work people are more listen to me more, and they I think pay attention more to what I say. Is still not on the level that I would like to be seen and that I would like to be recognized. And and sometimes I get frustrated. And again, this frustration shows me that there are still some empty spaces. Empty, by empty, I mean the voids and the gaps that are probably I still need to fill with to fill in with feeling safe, with feeling confident, with the self-belief. And so when I do that, when I will be full in those places, when I will be full with self-belief, my environment, my reality will also reflect that. These two things are really kind of indicators of, for me, how I create this in my imminent environment. One thing also I wanted to mention is that I always believe that people in general are good, that everything always turns out good for me. This was my belief since I remember. Whatever was happening, I always knew that it's not gonna last forever, and it never did. So I went to this like a fortune teller some time ago, and she told me that I have an energy of a cat who always lands on the four paws. That's a saying in my country, meaning that I always, even from the very difficult situations, I always come out on the other side safe. And that was my strongest belief, even before I was on the spiritual journey. And that always happened. So, for example, yesterday I was walking around and I purchased this pair of trousers. And when I purchased this pair of trousers, the lady in the shop asked me if I wanted to obviously subscribe to the shop. I said yes, and she said there was I had to fill in my details, and one of the details was my phone number. So I filled this in and print out the receipt, put it in the back, and then I continue on my journey around London, which was like 6 hours walking around. And when I got at the end of the day, when I was coming back, I got on the bus because I was just too tired to walk all the way back home. And on the bus, I realized that the bag with my trousers is gone. I basically lost it. Somewhere dropped it. I didn't know. I thought that I might have left it in one of the shops I went to, but I didn't know. So I was really, really upset. I got off the bus, but I kind of am into the spiritual journey far enough to understand that everything happens for a reason. And deep down, I knew that there is going to be a sign of why did it happen, or I might find it. So I got off the bus and I started walking back, and I wanted to see if maybe I dropped it somewhere on the way. I knew exactly where I was walking. When I walked into the park, and it was dark already, and I was trying to find my path, the path that I was walking from the park, I got lost. And it kind of seemed like I was in a dream. So I thought, this is a sign I cannot. I was walking up and down one road, the other, and then I didn't really know which way I was coming back from. So I thought this was a sign, and by this point, I was so tired. So I got on the bus, went back home, and I just sat down with this. I was upset, but like I said, I just... this spiritual journey does help me with things like this. When things like this go on, I just kind of recognize it, and I want to think also beyond it and not try for them not to get too deep down in me. But when I was sitting on the sofa, I received this phone call from the number I didn't recognize. I picked it up, and then there was this man calling me from the shop, saying to me that I left my trousers. When I asked him how did he get my number, he said it was on the receipt. So the one, and I think final for this episode, sign that you are creating your reality is synchronicities. Synchronicities are things that happen that, how I see them, they are just like meeting points of many different possibilities or realities, really, that at some point, and this little point, they just touch. And this is how you recognize that whatever happened up until this point was leading to exactly that point. And, I could have chosen, because I thought about it, I could have chosen not to give this lady or this shop my phone number, because I was thinking, well, I don't really fancy giving out my phone numbers, and they probably text me. And I had this minute thinking, and then I thought, no, I would give the number. So, and the recognizing of those synchronicities is a skill as well, because they are so subtle, and you just you would recognize them, of course, but you wouldn't necessarily recognize them if you were not paying attention. You wouldn't recognize them as for what they are. They are these glimpses of your decisions coming out here and there, and also maybe the last thing is, and there was many books written about this, about how when you think about something, it comes up sooner or later, and it could be very small things like parking spaces and, I don't know, pregnant ladies, or when you think about it, or men with beards, for me, a lot. But when you think about it, your reality brings you what you think about, or it's always there, because really all the realities are there. Everything that there is. So it's not like this is the only and only thing that can ever be for you. You know that, right? It's not the only thing that ever happens. There are many, many, many other realities to choose from. And the choosing part is you. So is the same as if you are choosing a job, or you are choosing a holiday, or you are choosing a piece of clothing. Everything is available in universe. Sometimes for us, and also for me, is difficult to choose something else because we are afraid, or we are afraid, we are scared, or we are just comfortable, which doesn't mean that it's the best what there is, but we're just comfortable. We don't know about anything else. We know that feels familiar. The reality that we are within, that's always how it has been. So why change? Why look for something else? And this is exactly when we realize this is exactly what we should do, which of course doesn't mean that we always have to change things. They could be very small things. If you always walk this path, how about you try and go different path somewhere to the shop or whatever? If you were always going to this cafe, how about trying check a different one? If you are only always talking to these people, try and talk to that people. If you are always cooking this and that on Sunday, try and go and experiment with some new cooking. There are loads and loads of things. If you are thinking, oh, I am not good at that, why not try and do it again? Or try and think of things that you would like to do. And if someone says, oh, I don't want to, I don't fancy going to the cinema, go to the cinema yourself. Who knows what's going to be there? If there is not going to be anything physically there, you definitely will find something about yourself. So the realities are in front of you, like in a shop. It's about you going into the shop and finding this reality. And it's kind of sort of funny, but not really. I was trying to explain this to this guy, and he just stood up and tried to kiss me. And it took me so much by surprise. But for him, it was because it wasn't a situation, it wasn't anything romantic or anything. And I would never in a million years expect that this was going to happen. But, and we kind of clarified that and nothing happened. But in this moment, when I was trying to explain this to him, for him, he understood it as invitation. So it's just to recognize that at this moment, he was so much in his head of kind of maybe wanting something or listening to me, but going in this one trajectory and kind of being maybe close to anything else that this could mean, and gave it a very, very specific meaning rather than maybe look at this more holistically and more in general. And I think that definitely for this guy, that would give him a trigger to understand perhaps where he is in his kind of love life and in his understanding of what relationship is and things like this. So it's just a funny, not so funny example. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I speak to you very soon. Bye bye.